All right, hey guys, Jason here. We are out here and we are getting ready to go hunting. So we're going to do this one, no mics, no nothing, make it pretty quick. But we're going to talk about some of the things that this truck does and has that I love that my Gladiator did not. Love both of these vehicles. Both of them are incredibly capable for what I need them to do, which is get me into these remote places. We are, right now where we are 11 miles from anywhere as far as like even a road that somebody else is going to come down. We are 5.5 miles down this road along the river. This is just a slough, but we are down this kind of a road, 5.5 miles down these sloppy, and there, right here is a high ground. That's why I'm parked here. But as you can tell, they get pretty sloppy back in there. I need these trucks to get me through this stuff and keep me and get me back. Okay, and I don't go off-roading with my buddies and try to get through obstacles. I just need them to do what I need them to do, and I need them to get me through and self-reliant. That's what I want out of a truck. Rubicon has it. Gladiator Rubicon has it. This one does too. But what does this have that the Rubicon does not, that really does make this shine? Both of them are incredible, and I'd take either one in a heartbeat. However, this has got a couple features that the Rubicon does not that I really love. One of them is the LSD in the rear end. Now I have locker, I have a rear locker, and I have a front locker, and I have a disconnectable sway bar. Same setup, basically same underpinning, solid front axle, front locker, rear locker, disconnectable sway bar. Same thing as what you get with a Rubicon, Gladiator Rubicon. However, this also has limited slip in the rear end, and it's a helical geared rear limited slip, and that means that I basically never even have to turn on my rear locker. It's just so fast, so there, so all the time, and the Gladiator does not have that. I wish it did, because this is amazing. That rear LSD in this thing is just straight up, I can't say enough good things about it. It's incredible. It's mind-blowing. It's literally like driving around with your rear locker on all the time. It is just that good. I mean, so many times I hit these hog wallows and things like that. Like, that's where this mud comes from. This road gets down, and you know, right here on a hill, when it gets down, it gets sloppy. And then the hogs wallow it out down there too, and they put a 2.5 foot deep straight wall hole they dig in there, and it's 5 feet long, filled with muck and crap, and you got to drive through them. And then there's another one 2 feet beyond it, and it's a messy, nasty. You start going, and all of a sudden you feel that rear end, you know, that LSD kick in and just pushes you right out. It's amazing having that rear limited slip. I straight up love it. That is one huge feature that the Gladiator is missing. I wish it had. Second one is the height of this vehicle. This vehicle sits high, and the body's up high. You're up way high, and it's very, I don't know, you don't feel as, close to the ground. Now the Gladiator is also very, again, I'm not knocking it in any way. Please don't for a second assume that I am knocking the Gladiator. It is still my favorite vehicle over and all. When you put all pros and cons together, the Gladiator is incredible. I'm not taking anything away, but this has some features it does not. The ride height of this thing and how tall up it is absolutely incredible. The front end approach and departure angles are really nice too. They're not Gladiator level, but they're really good for a truck. Really good. Again, when I drop this into a hole that's 2.5 feet deep, and we got the, you know, right here's where the other side is, and this is down in a hole, it's nice that this bumper doesn't hit on there. It works out really good. So another beautiful feature of it is that height. The biggest factor is the sheer amount of space that we have in this versus the Gladiator. So much room in this truck comparatively. So much room under the seats. I mean, there's double the room under the seat of this than there is in a Gladiator. There's double the room back here. There's double the space for everything. It's just got so much room in it. It is simple in design in every kind of way. Everything about it is pure simplicity, function, easy, cannot complain about it one bit. It's very nice there. But the beauty, the absolute beauty, is the space back here and also the space back here. Look at hogs right here. Hog rooting all over. Hog rooting right there. That's all hogs. And you can see this mud. See how this mud right here? This is from hogs. They go wallow around in those wallows, and as we walk through, that mud drips off of them. That's all hog mud drips right there. But the space back here too. Ton and tons of room in this back end. So much room back here. I mean, I cannot emphasize the amount of space we have in here and the sheer depth. In my Gladiator, that tonneau cover came to about right here on this. Look at the height difference we have in here. Just massive. So the amount of space we have here in the back end, the amount of space we have in the cab, the length of the bed, everything that we're seeing in this thing, just that space is pure power. That space, I'm loving it. I can carry so much more stuff than I did in my Gladiator. And it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Also, one thing the Gladiator can never do, well, it just seems like it will never do. It just hasn't done it, and I don't know why. It does not offer a winch. Okay, this does. Now, granted, I would much rather have the rear-mounted winch, and there's a pro and a con to everything. But I do love that this truck does come with a winch, and it's already pre-sprung correctly. It's already there, and it's already got this. I don't feel this winch. Okay, I don't feel that winch at all. I don't even know that winch is there. You take a regular Gladiator and you slap a steel bumper on it, aftermarket bumper, and you put a winch on the front and you know it's there. Whoa, 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 whoa. You feel it in the front end. It's like somebody sitting on your front bumper all the time. You know it's there. You feel it in every bump, everywhere. You know it is there. On this, you do not. Because it's done at the factory. Sprung, shocks, everything is tuned to that setup, and it is pure flawless. I love that. I wish Jeep would offer that in a Gladiator with that exact setup. Again, being tuned and dialed in 100% perfectly for actual off-road use. That would just be worth its weight in gold to do. But again, one of those kind of things that they do not, they just don't do. And that's a bummer. Now, one place that I am very bummed about on this truck that I wish was different, and I know I could solve it aftermarket wise, but really does bum me out, is that we do not have a recovery point on the back other than a hitch. The Gladiator had 2 recovery points here, which means I could put a winch, hitch cradled winch in a hitch, and then I could run that out, and I could, use a snatch block or a recovery ring and bring it back and then hook onto here and then use that double power, which on this truck would be very valuable because of the sheer weight and size of this truck. Being able to double line that would be incredible. I cannot double line off the back of this. I have to spend thousands of dollars and get a brand new bumper with recovery points put into that bumper in order to do that. That's a huge bummer for me. Okay, huge bummer. I wonder how much mud is actually on this. I just washed it the other day, but we got it caked up. Let's see. Oh, yep, we just, look at that. Okay, we talked about it, remember? We talked about how this would make me nervous. Look at all that crap on there. So I said, talk about a slippery mess. Right now it's not because it's not wet, but that is that, people thought I was crazy when I told them that made me nervous about climbing on this thing with the mud. Okay, look at that. Okay, that's just, there, now we got it all the way. Oh, now it's all the way out. See what I mean? That's the reality of being out here. Okay, in this kind of crap. Stuff that you got to take into consideration. Real world. Okay, real world stuff. But I do, the reason I took that step out. The load height of this thing, the tailgate height. It's huge. It's massive. Okay, with this tailgate being as tall as this is, when it comes down, it pushes me out here pretty far. It's a lot to reach in here. Here's about as far as I can reach. Right there where those straps are, to put that into perspective. That is about as far as I can touch is that red strap. Look at how shallow that is in relation to that whole relationship to that bed. That is why I have this in here, so that I can use this to pull anything I need to forward. I can literally take it and hook it on anything and bring it forward. Okay, so it's something that you got to consider. The Gladiator load height, or tailgate height, was a lot lower. That is definitely kind of a bummer here. Like I said, there's pros and cons to everything, so I don't want to make it out like this is the ultimate, best, most amazing vehicle in the world. But the rear LSD, the ride height of this thing being up high, the articulation in the suspension is unbelievable. The winch setup on the front is incredible. The motor is incredible. I mean, there's a lot of things about this truck that you just can't argue with. The lights on this thing are insane from the factory. Best lights I've ever had in a truck. They are outstanding on every kind of level. My Gladiator could never dream of having lights as good as this thing does. So that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of beauty in this. There are downsides. The mirrors, okay? And I've also talked about power mirrors. I said it in my review of this. I wish it had power mirrors. Somebody chimed in and told me and said, even if you get the power mirrors on a new one now, they as soon as you put it in gear, they pop right back out. So that you can fold them in by power, but as soon as you put the vehicle in drive or reverse, the mirrors come out. That wouldn't help me. So that's no value to me. You can see I already scuffed this mirror up right here. That scuff right there, look at that stuff. Okay, you can see that right on there. Yeah, like I said, this is the reality here, man. We don't play around. This truck gets used. This thing works for a living, and it has to do its job. But Gladiator, amazing. This is a big Gladiator. That's what it is. But in the off-road world, and as far as off-road trucks go, where this differs from a Gladiator, we get extra off-road capability with the rear LSD. We get the winch set up the right way from the factory, which is amazing. We get even more articulation in this thing, and at height is incredible. And we get a heck of a lot more room and space. Downsides, yes. What's worse? Gas mileage, higher tailgate load height. I get the mirrors, the width. You know, like I said, not trying to make it sound like it is the best of everything, but it definitely beats the Gladiator in some situations. And right now, I'm appreciating some of those. No doubt about it. Questions, comments, put them below. Thanks for watching.